Hi guys, and welcome back to James Jordan's The Truth. This week, myself and the lovely Francesca will be speaking about everything that happened in the semi-finals. Hi Francesca, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Good night, having you back again.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I'm excited to talk about the semi-finals. I can't believe it's the finals this week. It's gone so quick.
What did you actually think? Did you think it was a good semi-final?
I did think it was good. I thought there were going to be higher scores. Obviously, I know we got 40, which we'll come to. But yeah, I thought overall it was a really good show. What did you think overall?
I thought overall you had an epic performance, okay? One of the best performances I've ever seen on Strictly. But the rest of it, I felt, because they had to do 2 dances this week, and you've got the same amount of time, so you've got to split that time between the 2 dances. I felt with some people, I could really see that they'd struggled with definitely one of the dances, some of them both of the dances. So I definitely felt that the level with some of them went down.
Well, shall we start with Annabelle and Johannes? Because obviously they were voted out yesterday. So sad to see them go. But I think, in my view, it was the right decision. What did you think?
100% the right decision. Some people saying that Annabelle should have stayed over Bobby. Absolutely, categorically, 100% not. I think a lot of people are maybe picking up the phone and voting on their emotions, which I get. If they had stayed in the competition, that's purely because people have fallen in love with their relationship they have, Johannes and her, because I had. Also, the fact what she's been through this year, her children being there, the VTs, everything has kind of you will her on. I think she's been on an amazing journey this year. And I think for her personally, she's probably got most out of Strictly this year, more than anyone else. And I've loved their relationship. I've loved some of the performances that she did, especially the couple's choice. She's been on a brilliant journey. Everyone's loved them. But it was the right time for them to go. But can I just say that Johannes, without her being with Johannes, it wouldn't have been the same experience for her. I think he's been an absolute superstar. So again, well done, Johannes.
Yeah, I really love them together. And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think looking ahead to the final of the competition, the 3 that we've got is absolutely correct in my view. But it's always sad to see someone go, especially when they reach, the final hurdle. It's gutting. It's so sad. But I do agree with you. I think it was the right decision. But I think their relationship is so genuine. And I know so many people make so many great bonds on Strictly, but I do genuinely think that they have such a lovely relationship and connection. And that's so nice to see, isn't it?
It's lovely. So yeah. Well done, Annabelle and Johannes. You'll definitely be remembered in this series. Definitely.
So should we start with Bobby and Diane? Because they kicked off the show, didn't they?
So they started off with the quickstep, traditional quickstep in his towel suits. Amazing routine, moved across the floor. I'm a massive fan, even to the point, okay, I was watching because he's been criticized a lot about his arms and his hands and everything. The way he placed his hands and the extension where it came from the top of the body, you could actually see it coming from the body through the elbow, out to finish at the end of his fingertips. I was like, wow, his arms have improved so much. For me, he is the most improved on the show. I just think that quick step, it was just such a great routine, quite difficult, better. It was much higher a demanding routine than I thought he would be able to cope with. And also, I've got to speak about the height difference. Because there's such a big height difference between them, it makes it a lot harder for him to drive through. But I think he's coped with it so well. I loved their quick step. I thought it was a brilliant opening to the show. I would have given it a 9. The judges gave it 9, 9, 10, 10. For me, not quite a 10. But I still thought it was a great performance.
Yeah, I really loved it as well. I love the fact that it was just such a classic quick step as well. And the music was great. The song choice was brilliant. I thought it really, really suited him as well, actually.
Yeah, I love it when they go traditional. I just think that, and the public love it. That for me, Strictly. Don't change what's not broken. People still love watching that kind of dance. So let's keep doing it, pros. Come on.
Right. So next up was Leighton and Nikita doing their rumba. What did you think?
You know what? I would class myself as like a bit of a rumba guru. Now, with the rumba, I have a particular style I like watching. And the judges actually, ironically, said that they felt it was a bit spiky in places and a little bit hard. I didn't see that. I felt it was very understated. I thought it was very beautiful, very touching, very soft, very delicate. It's exactly how I would like rumbas to be pitched. It's the style I love watching. So I think Nikita pitched that just perfect, because he could have gone maybe more sexy. He could have gone more dramatic, but I just felt it was very understated and very beautiful. The only thing that I felt that was lacking, and the judges did pick up on it, was that he didn't settle into his hip. They were saying about that he didn't have enough hip action, but that's because he's not settling his weight. When he did the back basic, he didn't settle into the standing leg and work his knee back, which then creates hip action. So it's not that we just wiggle our hips for the sake of wiggling our hips, which is sometimes what it looks like. It comes from the legs. So he wasn't settling and using his legs in the way that he needed to create that hip action. Apart from that, for me, it would have been a 10. I couldn't give it a 10 because the rumba technique requires that hip rotation and settle, which he didn't have. But the way it was pitched, I thought it was beautiful.
And risky rumba in a semi-final, right? That's scary.
I mean,
They must have been really nervous about that.
Yeah, I think so. But I do feel that Leighton has the ability to put his hand to any of the dances. There have been dances which have, in my opinion, not suited him at all. And I've actually said very disappointed, didn't like it. Other dances he's been exceptional at. But he's still gone out there and created something great every week. But the rumba, I didn't think I was going to like their rumba. I feel when he dances sometimes, everything's too wham, bam, in your face, up high, leg up, splits, do this, do that. It's like all too much for me. Sometimes I like the calmness. I like that subtlety. And I only wish that he had put some of that feel that he had in his rumba into some of his other dances.
I really liked it. I agree with you. I think when you think about when they first started, like you say, even in the slower dances, it would just constantly be attack, attack, attack.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you. I really feel like over the weeks, he's learned to embrace the softness and really just soften the corners, I think. And that's been really nice to see. And I didn't see too much rigidness or attack really with the rumba. I mean, I'm not an expert. I don't know about the hips or anything really, but for me, it didn't, like, I think when it was Craig that said there was too much attack. And I was like, I don't think there was.
It's actually wrong. I'm going to say he's incorrect because although there might be positions where you get something which is sharp, you still need light and shade. For me, I totally disagree with what Craig said.
Cool. So then it was Ellie and Vito, and they were doing a cha-cha-cha.
They came out. Amazing track. I would go as far as saying that is one of the most difficult cha-cha routines I've ever seen. And with cha-cha, technically, it's so difficult. You can't fake it like you can in some of the other dances. In cha-cha, you become very exposed because of the way the leg straightens and the hip action and things like that. Her legs and feet were absolutely phenomenal. I did feel again she missed a little bit of the hip rotation. There were a couple of places where she went into a spin. She span into his arm and span out, and she wasn't quite able to control her body, and it all looked a little bit floppy, where she wasn't creating opposition in her body. But that's so difficult. That's such high-level stuff. I wouldn't have given it a 10. Motzi did. The other three judges didn't. But it was a clear, strong 9.
Yeah, and I think even as a average viewer, you could sense that the choreography was really, really difficult. But he trusts her, doesn't he? Because she always just nails it. And she's so capable. And you're right. Like, you can perfect some dances, but if the cha-cha really is that difficult to perfect when you're not a professional, then you can't deny that it was an absolute solid 9. Yeah.
The only other place I felt that it was a little bit uncomfortable, they had this step where she laid on him and then her legs went round like this, where she walks over her legs. For me, that looked a little bit heavy and it didn't really work for me. I would have taken that step out because I didn't think it looked good. Maybe in rehearsal, she did it amazing. That's the reason I gave it a 9. But like I said, it's semi-final. I'm being really, really picky. I'd be more picky with Leighton than anyone else. But when you create something which is that good, it's hard for me to criticize something. I have to hold my hands up and go. It was amazing.
Second half, they came out and did a paso.
Yes.
What did you think?
You say first.
I really liked it. I don't think it was their best, but it's hard because I don't really like the paso. I probably shouldn't say that, but it's not my favourite dance.
I think Emmy said that as well.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just something about it.
I love the paso because
do you?
You can be really attacking, aggressive and punchy. And actually for me, I feel one of the easiest dances for the men to look good in, paso or tango, because it's quite aggressive. You don't have any fluidity. It's not a rhythmical dance. I would have given them an 8. The judges gave them 8.999. I felt they overmarked him. What I felt with Bobby in his paso was that his face didn't match what his body was doing. So he was there with his face like this, but his body looked quite weak. He's very long, okay? And the longer your limbs are, it's much more difficult to look powerful and strong. So he's at a disadvantage. If you're shorter and more compact, it's easier to hit those lines. When he took his arm up, it was just quite one piece. He didn't have that extra shape in his body that you can see every single muscle working. When he's doing it, his face is saying it. His body isn't doing it. So for me, it looked a little bit fake, okay? I love Bobby and Diane. I think the routine was great. I think they did a great job. When you shape, it's not just putting your arm out. It's about how much you shape your body when you put your arm out. And they're the things that I was missing in his paso, which would have made it even better.
And I also think with their paso, although we could see in their quickstep and their other dances that he'd really been working on his arms, the paso, I think, kind of showed the weak spot with his arms and his hands as well. I think like when he was doing that, you could really see. And I was a bit like, I'm picking up on that.
Because it wasn't coming from the body. So the body goes and the arm is an extension of the body. He was just doing the arm. And that's why it didn't look as strong.
Well, so then next up, it was Leighton and Nikita with their Charleston. Got a perfect score. For me, fully deserved. I think I was watching it. I was sat on the sofa and I was like, what have I just watched? That was amazing.
It was epic.
It was good.
It wasn't just, it was clearly the best dance of the series. I mean, I wrote down here, faultless. The lifts, some of the lifts they were doing, I don't know how Nikita did it. The choreography, the timing, I just thought it was perfection. And I've never said that in all the years. It was perfection. Now, I know there's going to be people at home saying, yeah, but he's a professional dancer. And I get that. But you've still got to admire the fact it was, in my opinion, the best dance that's ever been on Strictly. I thought it was that good. I mean, someone said it's the best dance they've seen in 20 series.
I think it was Craig that said that.
Motsy said it's the best dance I've seen in any of the Strictly Come dances or Dancing with the Stars all around the world. This is how good that dance was. And I'm not denying the fact. I loved it. I watched it and thought, oh my God, it was epic. But does that make it right? Is that what Strictly is supposed to be? Is that what Strictly has come to, where we've got fully trained dancers on the show? Because for me, it's not what Strictly is supposed to be. It was so good. But then what is everyone else supposed to do? So that for me would be, I would say to anyone that's ever going to think of doing Strictly, don't do Strictly unless you're a trained dancer. I worked out with the leaderboard. He was top of the leaderboard, rightly so. So there's no question. But because he was top of the leaderboard, he could have had the lowest public vote and still not been in the bottom two. And I'll tell you how I worked that out, because there'll be people at home going, well, how did you work that out? Please don't think this is me going off on one, saying that I don't like Leighton and Nikita, because I love them. And I'm not saying it's their fault. He was top of the leaderboard. That means he gets 4 points. If he got 1 point because he had least public vote, that would give him 5 points. Yeah. Second place was Ellie with 3 points from the judges. Let's say she got highest public vote, 4 points, gives her 7 points. That means she's in the final because she's got 7 points. Leighton's got 5 points. Bobby in third place, he gets 2 points from the judges. Let's say he is third with the public vote and gets 2 points with the public vote. That gives him 4 points. Leighton's still in front of him, goes through to the final. And I'm not saying it makes a mockery of the show, but it just makes it a bit confusing. He's a professional dancer, and we're watching performances that I know none of the professionals on that show could do as well as he did. Well, how can that? Even the professionals aren't as good as him.
Yeah, and I was watching it and I was like, you did that move better than Nikita. Hope Nikita doesn't mind me saying that.
And if he wins the show, mate, good luck to him. But I don't think it's right. That's all I'm saying. I just think it's gone too far now. They've got too much dance training. Listen, and the thing is, it's the final now. The judges have no impact in who wins. They can kind of influence you by what they say, but what they put up doesn't make any difference. It's all down to the public. Now, if you want to vote for the best dancer and Leighton is the best, pick up the phone and vote for him. So I'm only giving my opinion at this stage. I will vote for the person that has improved the most, impressed me the most over the whole series, taking into consideration where they started as well. That's, for me, what I will be doing.
Yeah. Well, we've got one dance left to talk about, and it was Ellie and Vito's couple's choice. I think quite bold to do a couple's choice in the semi-finals.
Maybe didn't really have a choice. There's only so many dances that you have throughout the series, and it's got to that stage now where, do I pick that one, which I know is definitely not going to suit her, or do I pick that one? Couple's choice, they could kind of do what they wanted. Risky, I agree, but maybe it was the best of a bad bunch, because at this stage you're limited how many dances you've got left to choose from. What did you think?
I love Ellie and Vito. Ellie and Vito and Leighton and Nikita are my favourites, and I change my mind all the time about which one of those I want to win. I wasn't sold on it though, and I wouldn't have given it a 10. But listen, she's an amazing dancer, but there were bits of it that I didn't like, and there were bits of it that I really liked. And so overall, I probably would have given it a 9 overall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I would have given it a 7 or an 8 maximum.
Oh, okay.
Down here, and they got 9, 9, 10, 10 from the judges. Now, everyone knows that's watched this show, I've been flying the flag for Ellie and Vito the whole way through. Love them. From week 1, when people were saying she wasn't very good, I said she's amazing. This, for me, was her worst dance by a country mile, to the fact I hated the music. I really didn't like the routine. I thought it was heavy. I thought it was slow. The lifts and transitions were messy. They made mistakes. And this, for me, is the reason that I always go on that I hate couple's choice. Now, maybe it's wrong that I say I hate couple's choice, because this year there's been so many that I've really enjoyed.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the style or the genre or the way it's put together. I just felt that she's better than that. And for me, I thought it was really, really not good, and actually a detriment to them both. At this crucial stage of the competition, they've been my favourites throughout. I saw that and I was like, whoa, this is actually really not good. I still would love to see them win. How the judges were giving that 9, 9, 10, 10, I have no idea. They must have been watching a different dance to me.
I know. I love them too. They're so good. But yeah, I think... I wonder...
Polite. I think you were being polite when you were saying there's bits I liked and bits I didn't like.
Yeah.
That basically means you didn't like it.
Well, I'm not an expert. It's difficult because the thing is that there were, when I was watching it, there were bits where they looked really in time, but there was a bit where they did like a let's get physical, and I was like, what is that? I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. And I do think that if they had done the routine earlier in the competition, I think the scores would have been lower.
Oh, 100%.
I think.
But that's what annoys me about the judging. Like in week 2, if Leighton had did his Charleston, they would have been 8. No, it's 4 10s. You can't get that was an epic performance. This one for me was, honestly, I'm going to say it was a bit of a dance disaster.
Dance disaster in the semi-final. That is bad news. But they're through to the final.
Exactly.
Yeah, people picked up the phone.
So.
Yeah,
Rightly so.
absolutely.
And there's still my favourites. Clearly, like stratospheric, the best dancer this week was Leighton and Nikita. I thought both of his dances were on a par. One was epic, exceptional. The other one was fantastic. Who would I want to win? You know what? I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, because I love Bobby as well. And I love Bobby because he's improved so much. And he kind of pulls on my heartstrings more than anyone else in the competition. So until I see the final, because this semi-final, if I had to pick, I was so disappointed with Ellie and Vito's couple's choice. I don't know if I would have marked them first, you know. I don't know if I would have picked up the phone. But I know what kind of dances they've done previously that I'm going to see again. And they've only slipped, in my opinion, they've made one mistake the whole series, and that was that one dance. So I can forgive them for that. It's just a shame it was at this stage. So yeah, I'm going to say Ellie and Vito for the win still.
I pretty much agree with you. This week, for me, there was clearly no one better than Leighton and Nikita. Crazy good. But I think you're right. I think next week, so they do judges' choice, their choice of dance, and then they do a show dance. So there's a lot that they have to do for this final.
You know what?
Cannot wait.
Everyone that's in the final, I'm pleased. I think it's going to be a really, really good final. Very excited.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave your comments below. We love reading them and hearing what you think. Make sure you like and subscribe. Head over to Hello Magazine to get all of your Strictly content. And Emmy will be back with you guys next week chatting about the final.
Mad, isn't it? It's gone so quick. Guys, love you lots.